Welcome back to Catherine's Flavours of the World. Today I'm taking you on a little waltz along the Danube. From Passau to Budapest, I'm going to show you a dish that you'll have all the way along. You will not miss it and you will love it. It's a goulash, but today I want to make a very special Hungarian goulash. My friend from Hungary calls it pörkolt, and we have, especially for this, the most delicious, beautiful Hungarian paprika, and that's what's going to crown this dish. So to start with, we have our onion. So I'm going to just chop my onion in half, like so, and then top it, peel the skin. There we go. I'm not going too skinny with the slices because I want a little bit of texture. So rapeseed oil goes in now. Just a nice coating of rapeseed oil. And we can pop our onions in. Now the trick with the onions is to be sure that they're glassy. So heat them through and then we'll turn the heat down and we'll just let them slow cook until they're absolutely see-through. And then we put our paprika in. Meantime, I can actually brown off my meat. So I have this beautiful beef, lovely Irish beef, and it's perfect for stewing. It's all grass-fed, so it's going to be delicious in this dish. And I have my frying pan on, so I can get that going. With the beef, I've put a little bit of flour on it already. That'll help thicken my sauce, but I definitely need some salt and some pepper. If you season now, it's a much better idea because you'll have less to fix at the end. Now this can go down to a lower temperature again. We'll just let it slow cook. Some more oil over here, again rapeseed oil. Don't be shy. It'll help brown the meat beautifully. You can, of course, I should say, do this step by step. Cook your veggies first and then brown your meat. But to be honest, I find it much better to have 2 pans on the go. It's much more efficient in time. I have my beef on a really high heat because I really want that caramelization. All you've got to keep remembering is you want layers of flavour. So if you can get this beef beautifully browned, you see like that, let me get you a good angle on it there. See, nice colour on it. That's what you want. That browning or that caramelization literally washes off in the stew and it just brings a beautiful flavour to the stew. I'm happy with that. The meat is beautifully browned. And honestly, we're going to have beautiful flavours just coming from that alone. But let's get back to our onions now. And they are just really cooking nicely. Nice and glassy there. I'm very happy with them. And the smell, I always love the smell of cooked onions, don't you? But it's so, so nice. Now, the most important ingredient, our Hungarian paprika. This is quite a beautiful colour, so intense. So don't confuse it now with an Asian paprika. The Hungarian paprika is very, very special. So when you're on your adventure down the Danube, maybe you take some of this home with you. Now, my friend from Hungary said as much paprika as you can tolerate. So I'm going to go with 2 decent tablespoons of paprika. Give that a nice stir about. Now, I need another little drop of oil in here. The reason being, I want that paprika just to cook out nicely. And all spices love oil. Oil is a carrier of flavour for spices. So we just need to be sure we cook it out, but we don't want to burn it. Oh, I wish you were in my kitchen now. The smell is divine. Absolutely beautiful. And can you see the colour? Look at this. It is so red, so beautifully warming and wholesome. You can see how this dish started. This is a shepherd's dish or a cowherder's dish. This is where goulash started, and it was brought up into the mountains and kept all those workers on the farm going, having a good hearty meal. So that's what I intend to give you today, a good hearty meal. So we have that cooked off, and now I'm going to just turn off my heat for a second because I need to prepare some more vegetables. This really is a one pot. So over here I have my red pepper. Now, when it comes to pepper, it's usually red and yellow or red and orange. Green is that little bit more bitter. So it's just sliced pepper, that's all. Nice and straightforward. Cut through the flesh and then into the skins much faster. So we have peppers to go in, red pepper, yellow pepper, we've carrots to go in, and I'm going to put in some potatoes as well. So these are the little baby potatoes. These will hold their shape nicely. So I'm halving the smaller ones and quartering the bigger ones. You don't always see potatoes in a traditional goulash, but then being as it's a recipe that kind of covers a number of regions, even though its origin is Hungary, you do see different versions of it. But I like the idea of potato with it because it is a one pot then. And then you can subsequently, if you want, serve it with rice if you want a little bit more starch with it, or you can also serve it with just some crusty bread. So you can have it like half soup, half stew. So we've got our heat back on. Now don't judge me, but I'm going to put a little bit more oil in. Won't cook unless you've got oil in here. Rapeseed oil is what I'm using for this recipe. There we go, she's warming up beautifully. Now let's get these peppers in because we need a bit of moisture for our paprika. And our carrots go in. And sure, we'll put our potatoes in at the same time. We'll give this a nice stir around. Can you see how colourful this is? So I've just turned the temperature down a little bit because I'm conscious of my spices and I really don't want to burn my spices. Now, I'm happy with that. We've a bit of garlic to put in. That was a bit of garlic. Okay, now I definitely need liquid. So before I put the liquid in, I'm going to put another little bit of salt and pepper in. And I'm going with, this is a can of chopped tomatoes. You can also put in fresh tomatoes if you want. If you have nice fresh tomatoes in season, just dice them up and put them in. Now my beef can go in. Okay, now I need to deglaze my pan that had the beef in it. So we get this hob back on again and we can pour our wine in here. So this is just a very drinkable white wine. And to deglaze means to take all the juices from the cooking of the meat from the base of the pan and add it to your stew. So when I said earlier about building up those layers of flavour, every little touch point here is another layer of flavour. There we go. And in that goes. Okay, we can get the heat up on our stew now. I have the oven on as well because I'm going to let this cook in the oven in the casserole dish here. So give this a nice coating. Now, get our temperature down a little bit. Next, I have a little bit of beef stock that I want to put in. And you have to have bay leaves in here, so I'm actually going to put in a bouquet garni. So in goes our beef. That's our lovely beef stock. If you prefer a lighter flavour, of course you can go with chicken stock. Now that liquid has really helped. It's loosened everything from the base. My goodness, just look at that colour. It's so vibrantly red. And here we have our herbs. So I have thyme, parsley and bay. And all we need to do is tie that together. So we have our little string here. And we make a bouquet garni with this. These are herbs all straight from my garden here. Something quite special about your own fresh herbs. In that goes. Now We'll give that a little stir. Again, make sure we can bring it up to the boil. And then it goes into the oven and slow cooks. So interestingly, there's a lot of vegetables in here. You know, you would think, oh, it's a meat stew, it's going to be so full of beef, but actually you have a percentage of beef, but you have a lot of really healthy veg in here. Potatoes, the peppers, the carrots, the onions. So it's a really good all-rounder. So you could see how it could almost duplicate as a really thick soup served with crusty bread or as a stew. I'll check this for seasoning right at the end when it's cooked through, when all those flavours have had a chance to marry together. And this is but a sample of the lovely flavours that you'll experience as you travel down the Danube, enjoying your music and dancing. And of course, to enjoy music and dancing, you need good food. And it's a wonderful region for very, very tasty food. Now we can put the lid on and get this into the oven. And in an hour and a half's time, we'll be able to taste it. Something smells delicious. Oh my goodness, I can hear the bubbles. Let's have a look. Whoa. Look at this. Oh my goodness. It is so good. But I have to taste it for seasoning. It's a tough job that I have, but it's very important. You can really taste the paprika. You know, Hungary is so famous for its paprika. It dates back to the 1800s in recipes. But it's a really flavoursome paprika. It's sweet and slightly pungent, so it's well worth getting your hands on some the next time you're on your Danube waltz. And try and make this dish at home, or at least have it when you're waltzing down the Danube. Now, a little bit of salt goes in. I'm just going to maybe break rules a little bit. I'm going to put in a little drizzle of honey, just to balance out the flavours. That's optional. Let's give this a stir now. Oh my goodness, it just looks so good. Okay, now time to serve up. There we go. Look at that. Now we're not finished. It's always served with a good dollop of sour cream and some fresh parsley. And here I have some lovely crusty bread. So I'm going to just tear up some crusty bread and serve it with it. Because you need something to soak up that lovely sauce. So I really hope you get to try this recipe at home or when you're on your Danube waltz. And if you find yourself on the Irish shores, do come and see me in Ballyknocken Cookery School with Viking. I'd be so happy to show you how to make scones, and I might even share my soda bread recipe with you. See you soon.